From songs composed and sung as a form of groaning and praying to those delivering powerful messages of freedom, Negro spirituals evolved from simple expressions of faith to serve as a means of conveying secret messages on the perilous journey to freedom. These are the messages in Negro spirituals. Captured from their homes and countries, millions of people endured the loss of freedom, languages, families, and cultures. However, their voice remained untaken, and amidst the heart-wrenching circumstances, music emerged as a universal language among these slaves, born out of their resilient spirit and laughter. Negro spirituals, also known as African American spirituals, stand out as a significant part of American folksong. Their origins trace back to the informal gatherings of African slaves in the 18th century, held in places like praise houses and outdoor meetings referred to as brush arbor meetings or bush meetings. In these gatherings, participants sang, chanted, danced, and sometimes entered ecstatic trances. As the years passed, these slaves and their descendants embraced Christianity, the religion of their masters. They transformed it into a deeply personal means of coping with the oppression of enslavement. The songs that emerged from this transformation became known as spirituals, reflecting the slaves' desire to express their newfound faith. Enslaved men, women, and children sang the created songs with dignity, resolve, and at times, joy. These melodies conveyed stories of life, death, faith, hope, escape, and survival. Passed down orally from person to person, generation to generation, these spirituals echoed through plantation fields, churches, and camp meetings. Today, there is a record of about 6,000 spirituals or sorrow songs, but the true number remains unknown due to the slaves' oral tradition and the prohibition against learning to read or write. Some of the most well-known spirituals include "Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child," "Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen," "Steal Away," "Swing Low," "Sweet Chariot," "Go Down," "Moses," "He's Got the Whole World in His Hand," "Every Time I Feel the Spirit." Let us break bread together on our knees and wade in the water. Yet, these songs transcended mere melodies. They became a vital coping mechanism, a coded language of communication, and a source of solace for the slaves. In the era of slavery, Negro spirituals served as a means for slaves to convey messages in codes, fostering connections among themselves. The lyrics of Negro spirituals drew inspiration from characters in the Old Testament, such as Daniel, Moses, and David, figures who had overcome immense tribulations, resonating strongly with the struggles of the slaves. From the New Testament, the slaves found a profound connection with Jesus Christ, relying on him to hold on until they gained their freedom. Some spirituals, referred to as sorrow songs, were characterized by their intensity, slowness, and melancholy. Examples like "Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child" and "Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen" depicted the slaves' hardships, drawing parallels with the suffering of Jesus Christ. These songs were a form of moaning and groaning, akin to a prayer to God. Conversely, there were more joyful spirituals known as jubilees or camp meeting songs. These were fast, rhythmic, and often syncopated, bringing a sense of celebration. Examples include "Rocky My Soul" and "Fare You Well." However, some spirituals went beyond being ordinary songs. These particular spirituals were more than just ordinary songs. They were considered codified protest songs. Examples like "Steal Away to Jesus," composed by Wallace Willis, were viewed by some as calls to escape slavery. Despite frequently singing about heaven, the River Jordan, often cryptically referencing the Underground Railroad's destination, the Ohio River, was a common theme in their songs. During the mid-19th century, the Underground Railroad utilized railroad terminology as a secret language to aid slaves in finding freedom. As such, there were speculations that songs like "I Got My Ticket" might have served as a code for escape. One spiritual, "Go Down, Moses," was undeniably used as a code for freedom-seeking. Harriet Tubman utilized it as a means to identify herself to slaves interested in fleeing north, making it a powerful tool in the struggle for liberation. The lyrics depicting the Exodus served as a metaphor for freedom from slavery, with the River Jordan symbolizing obstacles like the Ohio River or the Mississippi that had to be crossed on the journey to freedom. For instance, the hidden message in Wade in the Water, "God's gonna trouble the water," was a crucial instruction for runaway slaves on the Underground Railroad. It advised them that if bloodhounds were close behind, they should find a body of water and wade in it. Being in water would disrupt the scent of the bloodhounds, ensuring the slaves' safety from tracking dogs. Spirituals like "The Gospel Train" and "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot" held veiled references to the Underground Railroad, while "Follow the Drinking Gourd" contained a coded map guiding slaves on the path to freedom. Frederick Douglass, a 19th-century abolitionist and former slave, noted in his book, My Bondage and My Freedom, 1855, that singing spirituals during his years in bondage was more than a hope of reaching heaven. For him and others, singing, "O Canaan, sweet Canaan, I am bound for the land of Canaan," was a declaration of their determination to reach the north, their Canaan, their promised land of freedom. The messages within these songs told stories from Genesis to Revelation, featuring God's faithful as the main characters. Despite the slaves' inability to read the Bible, they absorbed stories about Adam and Eve, Moses and the Red Sea, the Hebrew children, Joshua at the Battle of Jericho, Mary, Jesus, God, and the devil. Unable to access the written text, they memorized these biblical narratives, translating them into songs. In doing so, they encoded crucial messages to communicate with each other, hidden from the knowledge of their masters. The Negro Spirituals thus became a source of upliftment for enslaved Africans in this country, serving as a universal language that guided them toward freedom. As slaves moved from one place to another, Negro Spirituals spread across the country. Numerous attempts have been made to compile them, but the exact number remains unknown. Furthermore, the spirituals gave rise to various American music genres, including blues, jazz, and gospel. Black gospel music, in particular, traces its roots to the Negro spiritual, sharing a significant connection through their shared ability to uplift and provide hope. Even decades after the abolition of slavery, Negro spirituals continued to play a crucial role as vehicles for protest. In the 20th and early 21st centuries, they resurged during the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. Spirituals, along with gospel songs, supported the efforts of civil rights activists. Many freedom songs from this period, such as "Oh, Freedom" and "Eyes on the Prize," found inspiration in old spirituals, highlighting the enduring power of this music in the quest for justice and equality. Today, Negro spirituals stand as the roots of numerous American music genres, holding a special place as a beacon for Black Americans. This genre encapsulates history, tradition, and deep emotion within each of its songs. Despite emerging from a dark period in American history, these songs have transcended their origins. They are now sung, celebrated, and revered worldwide, carrying powerful messages that resonate even today. In their enduring legacy, Negro spirituals continue to be recognized as the music that played a crucial role in freeing enslaved African Americans. There you have it, the messages in Negro spirituals. What are your thoughts on these songs? Let us know in the comment section below. And remember to like the video and smash the subscribe button for more videos like this. Inspiration for the week. Champions keep playing until they get it right. You are your best thing. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. A champion is defined not by their wins, but by how they can recover when they fall. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. This channel gives a portion of its proceeds to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. St. Jude's give free medical care to children with serious medical conditions and provides free stay for the parents. Thanks to each and every one of you. Judy Henson, MBA.